Damn, I don't even know how to start this off. What's up, y'all? I thought multiple different ways about how I wanted to go about making this video, if I wanted to make it super cinematic and have a whole tribute dedicated to Toriyama. But I realized that he was a very private person, and that's probably not something that he would want. And the best way to commemorate somebody is by letting them know what they meant to you. And it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball and creator or aider in multiple other projects like Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger and etc., passed away this month on the 1st of a subdural hematoma, which basically is just something that could be treatable if caught early enough, but unfortunately it was one of those cases where it was not. I found out on the 9th from one of my community members, and it's about the 13th when this is getting posted, I believe. So it took a couple of days for me to process everything and figure out what I wanted to say. But honestly, it started to unravel for me just how much Dragon Ball changed me. Also, excuse my mini fridge behind me, because that joint is loud. I'm gonna try to cut out whatever I can, but I didn't really want to sit anywhere else in the house because this has the best lighting. But I was 5 years old when I sat down and watched Dragon Ball for the first time with my cousins. Not Z, Dragon Ball. I started off from the beginning. So the nostalgia is real for me because I grew up with Goku. I was 5, 6, 7 years old growing up with Goku while he had a tail with Grandpa Gohan, learning the Kamehameha, studying under Master Roshi with Krillin, going to the World Tournament and losing to Tien. By the way, I bet you never would have pictured Goku losing to Tien if you didn't start off with the original Dragon Ball. But defeating King Piccolo, meeting Karin and getting sensu beans, I was young with him, facing challenges with him, facing adversities with him, alongside him. Nothing compares to that level of nostalgia. My cousins and I would argue over who's the strongest and have energy battles where we're throwing kamehamehas at each other and trying to fight each other and gathering our keys together, and we would spend entire days just talking about Dragon Ball, looking for merch, looking for posters as kids. And he's the reason. Dragon Ball is the reason. Goku is the reason. Toriyama is the reason why I am who I am. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball was the first anime I ever watched. It's what made me fall in love with anime. It's what made me fall in love with animation, with drawing, with design, with set pieces, with characters, with 2D being brought to life. Goku was one of the first characters I ever drew. Ever. Badly. Keep in mind, I was 5, but Goku is one of the first characters I ever drew. Piccolo was one of the first characters I ever drew. The Dragon Balls is one of the first things I ever drew. And it was that love for Dragon Ball that kept me wanting to draw and design, because I wanted to get better at making these characters, at bringing these kind of things to life. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with drawing in the first place, because I was able to create Dragon Ball and bring it to life in my own world. And it wasn't even just falling in love with art, but it just, the lessons that I learned from Dragon Ball, facing adversity, going against the grain, beating the odds, doing what people say that you can't do, and being that person who is able to put their nose to the floor and get things done, and not being afraid of failure. Goku is one of the reasons why I'm not afraid of failure, because I thought I was a Saiyan. I thought I was a Saiyan. I would see him get beat down within an inch of his life, time and time again, against opponents who are way stronger than him. Opponents who look like they could never be beat. Opponents who have been training their entire lives, or are just way stronger than he is, otherworldly strong. And he would get beat down time and time again. But he would get up, he would heal, he would train, he would work harder, and then he would face that same challenge and beat it. And it was watching that process from somebody who was as young as me at the time, growing up with that person, doing that over and over and over again. It changes you. It turns you into somebody who doesn't become afraid of anything, because you watched somebody do it against all better judgment, but also against all odds. Dragon Ball is even the reason why I have this hardened shell to criticism and bullying and being made fun of, being teased. Even at 24, things still hurt sometimes. But as a kid, I wasn't afraid of anything, and I didn't care about being bullied, at least externally, because back then anime wasn't as popular as it is nowadays. It wasn't as sought after. You were weird for watching anime when I was younger, and you were seen as lame, a dork, a dweeb, whatever you want to call it, for watching, enjoying, and indulging in anime. But I didn't mind being an outcast because I had Dragon Ball. I didn't mind being weird to all the other kids because I didn't relate to them anyway, because they didn't like Dragon Ball. And then you get into the whole gaming aspect, already falling in love with art because of Dragon Ball, not being afraid of failure because of Dragon Ball, being able to face adversity because of Dragon Ball, not fearing people that don't like me and fearing people that tease me and bully me, not being afraid of things that are bigger than me, stronger than me. But then you have the love of gaming that developed because of Dragon Ball. One of the reasons that I became a gamer was to play Dragon Ball games and to fight my cousins and beat them in Dragon Ball, like Budokai Tenkaichi, Xenoverse. I mean, I can't think of many Dragon Ball games right now at the top of my head, but just growing up with Dragon Ball in every sense of the word. Every sense of the word. It started in 1989, I think. And it's still talked about to this day. It's still watched to this day. It's still debated against to this day. And it will still and forever be in households across the globe. It's insane. It's insane how much one anime has changed my life. And I wouldn't be the same without it. I don't know who I would be without Dragon Ball. And I can't even imagine it. I can't even imagine it. I can't even imagine what KatSavvie would be, if KatSavvie would even be KatSavvie without Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is even one of the reasons why I fell in love with Japanese culture and Japanese language. The language that they spoke, I wanted to understand without subtitles. I wanted to be able to watch Dragon Ball and listen to what they were saying and hear their yelling back and forth at each other and their laughter and everything that they talked about without subtitles, because the language was just so fascinating. Dragon Ball made the Japanese language more fascinating to me. And even Chala, I wanted to sing Chala and I wanted to memorize Chala. And in order to do that, I had to learn Japanese so that I could, at the very least, sing Chala. It started with Dragon Ball. Everything that I fell in love with started there. And if you don't like Dragon Ball, if you didn't grow up with Dragon Ball and you don't understand the nostalgia, I get it. It's a very old anime. It's a very old anime. The manga is it's still ongoing, but the manga is still old. I understand if you didn't have the experience that most people did of growing up with it and having it be a household thing. You're not going to feel the same about it. But to deny that Dragon Ball is fundamental in life is just wrong. It's just wrong. Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, Masashi Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, both of those animes are directly inspired by Dragon Ball. They've said it. They met Toriyama. They spoke with Toriyama and the person that he was, the way he commanded a room, even being as private as he was, the way he commanded a room, the way he spoke, the things that he would say to the two of them directly inspired them to create One Piece and Naruto. And you can see it in Goku. The man who Toriyama was, you can see it in Goku. Miss Masako, the Japanese voice actor of Goku. I believe she's in her, I don't know how old she is, but I saw a tweet where she was talking about Toriyama basically saying, "You'll take care of Goku, won't you?" And she's still alive. The things that Toriyama has done, the way that he's influenced people, it's all in Dragon Ball. And you can't say that things would exist without it. You can't say that certain things would exist without it, because it's just not true. If you ask most creators, most artists, most gamers, most animators, what made them fall in love with their process, majority, in some way, whether they know it or not, whether it's from something directly as a result from Dragon Ball or something down the Dragon Ball pipeline, they were influenced in some way by Dragon Ball. It's that fundamental. I'm a wrap it up. I don't want this video to be too long. I just wanted to get on here and put it in words, put it out into the world, and give thanks to Toriyama and give thanks to Dragon Ball, and to realize and accept that I wouldn't be who I was without Dragon Ball. There would be no KatSavvie without Dragon Ball. Maybe there would have been in a different format, but I can't even imagine it. So, Akira Toriyama, may you rest in paradise, and thank you so much for changing my life. Thank you so much for creating a masterpiece that made me fall in love with anime and gaming and drawing and Thank you for the lessons that you taught me. Thank you for showing me the power in sayings, and the power in facing adversity, and the power of learning and failing and growing and trial and error and doing things over and over again, no matter how hard it may be, to succeed in the end. But also thank you for showing me that it's okay to be defeated. It's okay to fail. It's okay to not get things on the first try. It's okay to not be strong enough. It's okay to be weak sometimes. I wouldn't be the person that I was without you, Toriyama Sensei. So, thank you. And if you're watching this video, thank you for watching as well. Feel free to share your experiences below this video and share what Dragon Ball, what Toriyama, what anything down the Dragon Ball pipeline, whether that be Naruto, whether that be One Piece, whether that be something that has nothing to do with Dragon Ball at all, but feel free. Feel free to share your experiences. Feel free to discuss with each other in the comments. Thank you. Thank you to everyone, but mostly, thank you, Toriyama Sensei. Rest in peace. Oh yeah, one more thing. I just wanted to show these in this video because it's relevant, but this is one of the times that I really, really wish that these were real. This is one of the times that I really wish. I really wish I could summon Shenron. Because I'm pretty sure the whole world would want the same thing right now. I just really wish it was real. Rest in peace, Toriyama Sensei. Thank you for everything.